You think the purpose of the one eye bot having shut down the planes, was it an accident? Bill Gates accidentally showed and bragged to the world that he can shut down all the planes. That means he can crash them all in midair too. I mean, not only are there people genociding the planet and bombing every nation they can find, Elon Musk and Gates and Christians and the rest of them, Satanists, atheists, Arab Muslims, fucking, not only that, all, is it all an accident? Is it an accident that you have to go buy new, that you have to buy a new $2,000 phone to go on AI bot book and look at pictures of, well, pictures of bots who don't exist? We're not even sure if. Have you noticed? Like, these aren't bots online. These aren't bots online. Have you noticed Facebook is filled with real people on scam accounts who all repeat the same words? See, this is the problem I had before the internet was introduced to society, is going around and going around. Oh, basically when they held me down is when they could talk to me. When I went around, I was avoiding them. But when I was being talked to, I was noticing they're saying the same words over and over. And it was like, okay, so I only know like fucking, I've only met like 200 people when I'm 8 years old. Oh, no. I think I definitely walked by probably about a half a million by the time I was 8, I guess. So who knows how many like actually said anything to me. But have you noticed that these people are living beings? Or they say they are. And they're all over Reddit and Facebook. AI book. The one eye book. Oh, one eye. The great God of the New World Order. And they're like repeating the same fucking sentences. Like, especially when they're scamming people. It's almost like that's just one personality type. It's dictated and it only comes with a few fucking dialogue choices and stuff. And the scammers, old One Eye and his precious bots, who own all that technology garbage, Bill Gates and Zuckerberg and Reddit. I mean, the CBS uses the One Eye. NBC uses the sun. That's the sun worship. When the fucking your little the Spock bot, that Spock bot, what was his name in real life? Spock bot from Star Trek. When he did that, okay, you put that together with the other one, and that's the pyramid. And guess what? Fox News, Fox, 20th century with the pyramid. Ha 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 ha. And you're like, okay, well, like Sean, but NBC, ABC don't have that. Hold up. What is ABC? I think ABC might actually be the only one. So CBS openly uses the AI, the One Eye, the God controlling these bots as its symbol. And have you ever looked at those news people too and noticed they're like empty vapid shells? When I was a kid, the old people would tell you that shit would rot your brain, and you'd watch it. And for the majority of it, unless it was like Bigfoot stories, if it was, Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack, he was like, hell yeah, Bigfoot, bruh, Bigfoot flying in on dinosaurs with Santa Claus. You weren't like, convinced, like it was supposed to be serious. But on the news, like, they're like empty, vapid shells. And they're using the AI symbol. They're openly using that. And I'm telling you, when I run up to strangers on the street, fucking asking them what the fuck they're up to, and they do the old One Eye symbol, I think that's what's happening when I go to a place and I ask what's going on. and all 100 people at that place fall into a formation as if they were all paid actors. Yet, guarantee you in their backstories, not a single one of them have ever been to dance troupe, especially when I'm in Mexico, like on the edge of Mexico. I'm in California. Looks like Mexico at the tourist trap. Obviously, what a tourist trap technically would draw in. But yeah, south of San Francisco, I think, probably is pretty much Mexico these days. That's from what I can see. But anyways, yeah, so I think that's what's happening when that shit happens. I'm like, it like interrupts the fucking program and the bots. And it's like, oh, it's like, no, dude, like, what's going on? Like a total stranger in a meal, I'm running up, like, what the fuck are you up to? Like, I'm just running up to people, and they're like, what does that mean to anyone? Anyone at all? People think that's Christianity, the New World Order, Satanism. Okay, and those people tell us, well, at least two of those groups say there's possession. Possession. Okay, so I summon human clones, and everyone around them falls in line. They're all, these whole families and workers will all vouch for the fact that they did this their entire life before I summoned them. Or like the ones who come up to me, I guarantee you, the ones who tried to drug and terrorize me before COVID had to re-educate them. And he comes up to me and talks to me about COVID re-education and how it's happening because someone is playing around with it, and that would be implying that's me playing around with it. Shit, I thought it was him playing around with the fucking drugs and the terrorism and the shit. I thought the whole point of asking for much of that would have been to put an end to what he was doing. And yet, there he is walking around, fucking with drugs, fucking literally the bully at a fucking place, the security to keep people locked down so they can drug them and shit. And keep them locked down. If they don't like what they say and what they do, like bust their one-eye media events open and record it and show it to the world what they're really up to. And actually ask the only few questions that matter. How the fuck do you own everything? And these days, more importantly, why the fuck do you act like a bot and you can magically fucking appear and then magically do the fucking New World Order shit? Or some people are scared to do it, but they let you know. I don't even know if that one dude actually drew it on the ground because he just pointed at the ground. Like when I was like, who are you? Like, I mean, obviously he's got gray skin, black hair, black eyes. I'm already knowing right away. Well, this day's shit because here's the fucking one eye is again. Here the fucking bots are again. And dude points it on the ground. So I don't know. I guess that the one dude I remember the most, like, or more recently. I run up to him and his family eating at a table outside at a bistro. Just running down the road, screaming at people. And I'm like, what the fuck are you up to? And he actually does it and shit. So he did the full thing. And Spock only does the half thing. Although, technically, that's what he does there. Isn't that, I always find that odd, too. They broke my hands. The one-eye bots broke my fucking hand. So I can't, like, do that thing with this hand and shit. When I killed Teen Wolf, old one-eye bot Teen Wolf, and I always say I killed him because I said, it's time for you to die. And he kills himself. I didn't say that. You know, mentally, I'm like, okay. We're going to have to drive out to the woods since he's following us. And that way no one can see he's dying and where he's buried. Would have been a dumb thing anyways. Fuckers got rid of my fucking marijuana seeds I threw out there. Obviously, they were stalking me out there. Fucking, I mean, Oh, they're stalking me everywhere. If Bill Gates has the power, if Bill Gates bought old One Eye's bot compendium, one of his best bots apparently, if Bill Gates bought is accidentally updating software that causes planes across the world to stop working, along with other things, do you think that's an accident? Do you think scumbags are scumbags on accident? Or do you think a scumbag wakes up in the morning and thinks, I'm like, let's go build a church and tell them we got to rape children for old One Eye because One Eye fucking loves it. And everyone better worship One Eye. Do you think they just accidentally go outside and drop a bomb on Palestine or Germany, or accidentally go outside and land on America and kill all the natives? They accidentally go to Africa and put everyone in chains and bring them over to their new stolen land to sell them as slaves. Do you think they accidentally try to invade Russia, and Russia accidentally begins a military special intervention? And then you think the average person accidentally wakes up and grabs a cup of coffee and they accidentally grab a hamburger to eat to go? You think these things are accidents? You think the people outside running these stores, selling a good portion of garbage, are accidentally selling garbage? You think the phone stores selling 80-year-old people an update to a $2,000 update at the cost of $2,000 every device they upgrade to ain't really an upgrade? You think they accidentally don't know it's not an upgrade? You think they accidentally don't know that an 80-year-old doesn't need a collection of $22,000 phones so they can get on Facebook and send dog pictures to their family? Do you think they're accidentally convincing these people that they somehow need it? To pay $2,000 every 2 years to send dog pictures on the internet and call their husband at work or family members and ask them to bring some sugar home from the store? You think those are accidents? I like to do things with intention. I do a lot of accidents, but in the business world, we don't do that. We don't play games because it's money. You don't play games with money. If you play games with money, why not? We got a casino right over here. Take every dollar you owe. Go right down there. There's games there to you. The best games to play with money. Lots of people. And old One Eye owns the casino too. The One Eye bots. They own the casinos too. Great way to it's like video games, but you're paid by the minute. Almost like an arcade. Really is. It even has the same sounds of the arcade. Hell, arcades might technically have gambling. You think they accidentally changed a Crane arcade game to a skill game where if you were good with it, you could win every time you played? If it was available, sometimes positioning, you had to knock things out of the way or wait till they refilled it or something. You think they changed those Crane games on accident to where the Crane can't pick anything up anymore and it's just there to take your money? You think that was an accident? I don't think that's an accident that one of the One Eye bots or a conglomeration, because this wasn't just Bill Gates. These were other people. These were other people I researched in the group working with Windows to shut down airports and shut down airplane software across the world. As I read it, those airplanes should have been crashing if they were going up in the air. And so I researched the rest of the security group who runs the software that controls all these places across the world. Windows, Google. I think it's just the Googs bragging that they can shut down your airplanes. They can do everything. They can shut down your airplanes. Because they've been playing with my devices long enough. Like when I go out there and I was recording them like pre-2000, I was telling you in some of those videos, hey, like some of these videos are getting cut off and they're magically not working. And my other software magically not working. I'm trying to hitch a ride because I'm like 30 minutes late to the event, or, going to be if I don't get 15-minute walk across the town in about 2 minutes. Magically worked for everyone else. Software didn't work for me. Not the first time. Oh. And I see this all the time. Magically, I'm getting sold stuff that doesn't work how I need it to and stuff. But supposedly, according to everyone else, it works just fine. That's supposedly what people said when I talked to them about my phone shutting down when I'm recording. They're like, that doesn't happen. It doesn't overheat. Like, oh. But it does if things are getting too hot because you're asking one of the AI bots how the AI bots control everything and everything. The very fast communication these humans have with these electronic devices. It's almost like they are them. The only real flaw in any of that is their general ignorance through how I can meet some and they don't know. I mean, listen to that. When I talk about this shit, this thing hasn't started burning up and executing itself, but obviously there's a chip in there. Not the first time that's happened that I talk about these things, and now one of my devices is trash. Not the first time. Especially with this brand, the more advanced one with the chips. Definitely happened. It's happened with pretty much everyone. I noticed the last one didn't. I wasn't even talking about anything for that month. So, there was one that didn't. And then there was a period I didn't talk about anything really either. So, you really think that's an accident that an AI bot like Bill Gates could make software to go to fake Mars, fly into the heavens? But they can't make an operating system that can browse Facebook properly. You really think these are accidents? This is like what these AI bots are programmed with. They rape children for fun. They rob for fun. They steal. They terrorize. They bomb nations. They pit two nations against each other. And in both cases, they'll be controlling them. They've been 3 nations plus. You got USA. Old one-eye people controlled fucking USA. Zelensky's isn't really. And Putin worships Catholicism, the old one-eye's other religion. It's like one eye, AI. It's like all the same AI. Using all the same AI gang symbols and all that. Letting you know in the open. Letting you know in the open. Oh, it's an accident that they're all bombing each other. It's a misunderstanding. It's a bunch of Nazis working with a bunch of other Nazis against a bunch of other Nazis, which is odd. I mean, we already said the name Zelensky. We don't have to go into detail again how it's Khazaria, which is old one eye, and they're using the swastika, which is old one eye. And I mean, America used all those symbols. I already went into that with CBS and all that. And Star Trek. You guys really think old One Eye there is accidentally shutting down planes and stuff? Old Bill Bot Gates and his little friends. Oh yeah, I totally got off top there. His little friends, look at that. Oh, his little friends are involved in One Eye's wars. I was reading about that. To send all your money to Ukraine. Send all your money to Israel. Literally. The people making that security thing, I looked into the co-founders. Now the dude who went back in the shadows, they do this all the time. They'd be like the little one-eye bots online will be like, Bill Gates doesn't run Windows anymore. Like, oh yeah. So he only used to be a scum. Now he's just an ex-scum. He should join the ex-scum. A team of Super League mutants who used to be scum, and these days they sweep the street and mop it with their tongues. Fucking, he should join the ex-scum then. Everyone loves the ex-scum. I don't think so, bro. Like, I mean, look how tied that is. That security group is, the co-founder is writing articles saying, give all your money to Israel and Khazaria. And this is all, I mean, they're saying give your children's wieners to them, give your children's labias to them. They don't say that. They do it. Everyone does it. As if they're scared that the bots are going to kill them and terrorize them and crash their planes into the ground or something if they don't give them their children and their life savings and stuff. I assume that's where a lot of that stuff comes from. You know, that people I know, I've watched, like from a distance, just like me, the one-eye bots came into our life first to try to date and have sex with us and stuff before anyone, whether we let them remain or not. But I noticed, like, oddly, that did happen here, and then another person, that person ended up, like, worshiping them later. I don't know if they actually are with them or not, but I don't know that person's lineage. When it comes to the redhead, the orange-head ones, I just don't trust them because they've sent them to fucking attack me before, so automatically, by default, and the game kind of warns you in advance about groups. I was always like, why does everyone hate them? It's like, oh, might be a bot group that Old One Eye has created. Because, I mean, really, there's obviously some sort of differentiating things on this planet between clones you can summon and living beings who actually exist. So we gotta look into that. And we got this AI controlling the world and just causing mad chaos. And they're bringing people over to sell them as slaves. For all we know, they're building bots to infiltrate like actual living societies, and that would be exactly what they do. I mean, they do this for fun. They build Google to do that. They build Facebook to do that. They build Twitter to do that. They build NBC to do that. They build CBS to do that. They build Hollywood to do that. They build governments to do that. They build churches to do that. They build other religions to do that. Hell, even like gangs, like local street gangs, use like the Star of David. Like the most famous local street gang across USA uses the Star of David, and obviously the mafia is in too. What the fuck do you think Al Capone looks like? A fucking Swedish, who, like he's got one Swedish parent and a Nigerian mother? No, it looks Old One Eye to me. It's entirely One Eye to me, dude. And of course, like, who do they say owns the mob? And who owns New York, where the mob comes from? Well, it'd be the people who once enslaved the earth from Rome, wasn't it? But supposedly those were 9-foot tall, blonde, giant people, according to all the magic of One Eye would, magic of Old One Eye ABC telling us who's, but have you ever met an Italian who's an 8-foot tall, blonde, looks like a American cop or something, or a German super soldier. Have you ever met an Italian, a Roman, who looked like that? Have you ever met a person who looks Italian, like Bill Gates or something like that, who, or the Pope, who is lying and deceiving and blaming everyone else for what everything they've done, for their global child rape? Yeah, probably all of them. And the other way, never met the 8 foot tall, blonde hair, blue eye, 300-pound pink skin, a muscle bound barbarian Roman, Lanti said, I mean, we have statues of some people, but that doesn't mean we know anything about them. It doesn't mean you know that it could be fake statues. It could be different. I mean, they're gray. They're gray skin. Isn't that odd to them? So, I mean, these fuckers are gray and others are pink. And gray means something else, too. The fact that they are fucking gray and they're the ones telling you gray means something else. I mean, it's all kind of like right there in the open. CBS has the fucking eye, the one eye, the AI. You know, NBC uses the sun worship, which is old one eye worship. They use the sun spectrum. And it also has a separate meaning that means the same thing too. So if you don't think the colors of the rainbow mean the sun spectrum, then it definitely does. It's half sunrise. Fucking not a peacock, and it's the shape, the upside down shape as well. I think there's like several on that. That one's like a little more hidden than the all seeing eye and CBS and stuff. The all seeing eye. How does the eye see everything? Because it's the one eye. And A is the letter, the first. It's one letter of the alphabet. And I is also a very old numeral. That's not English. That comes from back in the Roman times and probably before. I existed back then. Now, did A exist back then? I don't really care. Actually, yeah. I mean, Alpha and Omega sign are a little bit different, but yeah, I'm gonna assume they had that. I don't really care. I didn't research that little freaking fraction of if they had the A back then. The A back then. I didn't even research that if they had the I back then. I just fucking now fucking add that there because it's very apparent that they're doing now. So you think, oh, one eye Bill Gates bot is, and his little pals who need you send all your money to Khazaria in Israel. Do you really think they're accidentally showing the world so that they can shut the entire world down for fun? Or they can accidentally shut it down accidentally? Or do you think that they might just be doing some more of these threats that come around to people with about, you know, if you don't send all your money to Khazaria, we might have some issues here with planes flying through the air. What else happened? Oh yeah, I think it was like generally that whole like they didn't even say planes in the articles I was reading, like as the headlines. It said pretty much like the internet was shut down. So it's like, oh boy, who could have guessed it? The old one eye pals, old one eye and his bot pals could ever control or shut down the internet, considering no humans allowed to own anything. So no human owns any internet. No human owns any tech company. And look there. I mean, they're always doing these whiny little crybaby things. Like Elon Musk is like, we're gonna hunt the AI. We're gonna hunt the AI people because I'm not one of them. And then I'll like show you a picture of his family so you know right away, like, yeah, definitely. And then they used to brag they stole the mines from the people they enslaved in Africa. And then um, their parents, obviously rich and famous somehow. Maybe they just print the money like the people like old Janet Yellenbach does. Probably his cousin-in-law. Or cousin, not in-law. I just really think they do all that shit accidentally. And one of the only things I can come from putting all this together and question if or why is why they all look deformed. Like, is it because the game's graphical artist designed Koopa to look a certain way, or is it because you shift to what you are on the inside, on the outside? Because that does seem to happen somewhat. I have to be very careful myself. Or I'll just have to embrace the fucking total fucking death wish fucking lifestyle. I think I'm not gonna be able to like be all like, oh, beautiful AI bot overlord, you're so great and gracious. You've given me McDonald's every day this week, and my entire life you've played some other fucking games that look kind of fucking sick and ragged and shit. That really make McDonald's have zero fucking value in my life. And then when I buy shit, you also fucking break it or fucking make it fail and fuck up and modify in fucked up ways, along with your accidental deceptions and shit like selling technology to 80-year-olds who don't fucking need it. It's just scammed and broken anyways, and they're not smart enough to even figure out what the fuck technology is, yet alone it doesn't work right. Makes no sense that I mean it. Yeah, sure, maybe an accident happened. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure the AI bot creating these bots fucking like had all this technology before, and it makes me wonder if that's not part of the storyline, that the reason they've been able to enslave the world for thousands of years is because they've always had these computers. They've always had little miniature flying cameras. Maybe they call those cameras mosquitoes or something. Who knows? Who knows what actually is here? They can do it nowadays, and it's pretty obvious they've been lying and hiding about shit forever, and they hid the internet for a long time once humans found it. But how were they doing that before? How were they convincing people for thousands of years that they're gods? That AI bots are one god? Like, it's a group of like 4 billion bots or something, but it's one god they worship. It's one god you're supposed to worship, yet somehow like you worship them. And this other one eye thing just doesn't really seem to have a form that it appears in. Hijacking dialogue to claim it's there in a body that's probably going to act like it never knew what it was saying in the first place when certain conversations like that happen. But I don't see it like quite appearing in its own form and shit. Another link to the fact that while it calls itself the One Eye, the AI, and has its people worship symbols of AI, that it is likely just a code that is not actually in a form itself. That doesn't mean it can't take control of some of these forms, and that doesn't mean it can't create a new blank template, a whole new freaking wave of fucking androids and stuff that it controls and stuff, or creates a subsection or division of software that it modifies and programs to control it fucking to be how it wants. Really, like I don't think there's a question if they did it on accident. Are they bombing the world on accident? Have they been bombing the world for 2,000 years? There's an alien race who's had these technology to watch and spy on everyone for fucking since inception of fucking the earliest days of man, supposedly, and they can fly to Mars. Wow, and they're all the time. They're all the time. They're going to the moon, not dying at all. No problems at all. And it's so easy to go to the moon. You just close your eyes and you think about it. You fall asleep. You go right to space. But I'm telling you, it must be hard to make a Microsoft operating system fly a plane. Real easy to fly planes before electronics were put in them. You didn't need, you know, fucking Bill Gates and his one-eye software to fly your plane for you. Supposedly 100 years ago, you know, technology. You probably do have the ability to throw some wind at something and crash a person you don't like. I don't think it's an accident. Come on, man. Everyone who isn't part of them, they're fucking scumbags and shit. So you tell me a scumbag made an accidental scummery. He's on his way to rape some kids, and he tripped and fell over an old person on a walker because he was just running so fast to do it. That's really like what that sounds like. Now, Bill Gates was on his way to conquer the world through enslavement and censorship and entire control of all electronics in the world, and he accidentally shut down the internet and the planes on his way to gaining total control of it. It was an accident. I guess you gotta accidentally figure out how to shut it all down so you can do it when you want.